Hi everyone. I'm here to help you move all of your assignments and student scores from one Schoology course to another. As you know, Pre-AP Gate is no longer being used at this school. We have deleted it and moved it to the honors classes right here. So you're going to see this new honors course in your Schoology setup. And what I want to do is take everything that I have in this course, including all of my students' scores for our assignments, and move it into this one. A few things before we get started that you need to take note. Number one, I have my classes linked right here. My first and my third period are the same class. I teach them on the same day. They have the same assignments, same due dates, etc. So I've linked these courses. If you have a linked course, you also want to do that before you do anything else. So I've linked my honors courses right here. So that way it's the same and I only have to worry about one. The second thing you want to make sure that you do is make sure that your grade setup is the same in both courses. It's just going to set you up for an easy transition into PowerSchool. Now, keep in mind, this is really for teachers who use Schoology more so than they use PowerSchool. If you only have one or two assignments in Schoology, it might be easier just for you to transfer those scores manually into PowerSchool and just kind of let the Schoology course go. But for someone like me who uses Schoology on a daily basis and has more than 10 or more assignments in Schoology, this was the faster option. So I have all of my assignment categories here, as well as any weights that I have given to those categories. I want to move that over into my new course, and thankfully that is easy to do with just a click of a button. I'm going to click Copy Settings in the upper right-hand corner, and then I'm going to pick my new honors course, and I'm going to click Copy. So that way, if I go to my new honors course, all of this is there. All right. The second thing I want to do is make sure I move all of my resources and all of my assignments over. Now, this is easiest to do if you have everything built into folders. If you have all of your assignments out in the open and they're not in folders, you're going to have to go to each individual assignment and copy each assignment over. But if it's in a folder, all you need to do is copy the folder over. So for example, I have my previous units folder, and within this, I have a lot of other different things, including all of the assignments that we did for this unit. Instead of having to go to each assignment here, all I need to do is copy over the folder. And I'm just going to copy every folder over to my new course. And so I'm going to click on the gear icon over here, and I'm going to click Copy to Courses. I'm going to choose my new class, and I'm going to click Copy Folder. So now when I go to my new honors course, everything that I have just moved is there. All of my assignments are there, and I can rearrange them. One thing to keep in mind is that even though the assignment is moved over, the due date is not. So you definitely want to go through and edit each of those assignments to reflect the due date that you had originally assigned. You can easily do this in the gradebook. So when I'm looking at the gradebook, I am looking at all of my assignments on the top, and I can go to each of these little vertical 3 dots for each assignment, and I can simply edit the assignment here, including adding the new due date and saving those changes. Now, once I do that for every assignment, I'm finally ready to export all of the scores. You do have to have the assignments in both courses in order to transfer over the scores for each course. So I need to export my entire gradebook, and then I'm going to make it match up with my new gradebook. So I'm going to go to my old gradebook in my old course, and I need to export this. So what I'm going to do is I am going to hit on the vertical 3 dots over here on the right-hand side, and I'm going to click export. I'm going to choose my export type, and I'm going to select gradebook as CSV and then click next, and it's going to download this. Now I've already downloaded this, and here it is. And this is just basically all of my assignments up here on the top with all of my student scores, and all of my students are over here. I want to make sure that I save this document in a place that is easily accessible. So I like to save mine to my desktop. And if I am moving over multiple classes, I definitely want to rename this whatever I want to name this so that I can find it easily later. And so I'm just going to click on period for gradebook, and I'm going to make sure that goes into my desktop, and I'm going to save it there. Now, because Excel is very weird sometimes, it might say that some of your features might be lost. So you kind of have to go through this again. I do want to keep my format. Okay. And then if I try to exit out, it's going to say, do you want to save your changes? I'm going to click save. I don't know why it does this, but it's doing this. And so I'm just going to click save again. It's going to say you already have this one. So I just want to override it and keep all the new changes. And yes, I want to keep that. So I know that's a lot, but that's everything that you need to do. Okay. Now I have my whole grade book here and we are all set to go. What I'm going to do now is go to my new course and I'm going to go to the grade book there. Now I've already done this, so it looks a little bit strange right now. And you're thinking, well, you already have those courses. It's because I did this yesterday and I'm just doing this for purposes to show you. I'm going to go back to the little three dots here, and I'm going to now, instead of click export, I'm going to click import. I'm going to choose that file from my desktop that I just saved, and I called this period 3 gradebook. It's going to have a lot of data here that's not important. You're going to click open. There it is, and I'm going to click upload file. Then what it's going to do is ask me to match my columns. You don't have to do anything crazy here. All you definitely want to make sure that you do is make sure that user ID matches up with user ID. That's just going to make sure that it goes to the student that it needs to go through. And you can skip everything else until you get to your assignment. So here's my first assignment here. I want to find that assignment and it's pretty much matching. Okay. I'm going to match everything else that I can. And I'm just going to go down my list. When I'm done, I'm going to click preview. Okay. When I click preview, right now it's saying that my user IDs are not found because again, I've already done this. I'm just going to make sure everything is good and set to go, and I'm going to confirm. Everything's going to get moved there. This might take a minute or two, so just give it a second. And you should be able to see in your new gradebook that all of your courses and your assignments and your grades are now transferred over. It would be a good idea to open up your old gradebook in another tab and just make sure that your scores are matching up for your students. Now all that's left to do when all is said and done is syncing those to your new PowerSchool gradebook. That way you don't have to do all this in PowerSchool. It's just done in Schoology and it transfers over. You would just sync these assignments like you would. And that's it. That's good to go. And then you would definitely want to just check your PowerSchool to make sure everything matches up. And that is how you move your Schoology gradebook from one course to another. Thank you guys very much. Let me know if you have any questions, okay?